All right, welcome back in. McElroy and Cubelic in the morning, 9 a.m., hour number 3 underway. Appreciate you all tuning in. If you've missed anything, go to Jocks FM. You can grab the jocksfm.com. You can grab the podcast there, also on the app. Tell your home smart speaker to enable the Jock skill. Watch us live on YouTube each and every day. Search Jocks945. The coach, Wimp Sanderson, joins us each and every week thanks to our friends at Coke and Piggly Wiggly. Coach, you've told us before that you like chocolate, right?
Yeah, I love chocolate. I eat chocolate all the time.
Do you enjoy a Kit Kat bar?
Sure.
How do you eat that?
I don't know. Just put it in my mouth and eat. I don't know. I don't have to eat it in a certain way.
You don't break, like, do you break off one at a time?
Well, I might break
it
a
in
little
half?
bit of it off. I might break a little off, but I eat a little bit.
Okay.
Quick. I want to give you a little football. You're asleep.
I wish.
You're asleep, and you wake up, and you say to your buddy, how did Alabama do in the playoffs? And they say to you, they got to the final 8, but they got beat. I know you went to Auburn, but would you have said, well, they did great? What would you have said?
How would I have described how they fared in the playoffs?
Well, I would.
Or their
would
season as a whole.
I can give. Let's just say I didn't even give you the score because the score is the indicator. What would you have said if I had left out the score, but told you that they got in the final 8?
I would say. I mean, listen, I didn't think Alabama was going to win a national championship this year. So I would say, oh, it's a pretty good year.
Yeah. I think you probably would.
I would tell you, but I would also say you're leaving out a pretty important part of it. If I was attempting to describe it to someone, I would say they went on the road and won a playoff game also against one of the best defenses in the country.
Yeah. I would say
that was part of the playoffs, right?
Yeah, I would say you'd be fairly positive. You're losing a quarterback who's decided to go pro. The quarterback or the offensive coordinator at Alabama can never please anybody. Pleases a few sometimes. When I was there with Namath was there, he pleased them. So by not pleasing them, you're going to get basically, and I think Ty did a good job. I think he realized that there was not going. He didn't know about the running game. His daddy, he got the advice from his daddy. He was going to get a low number in the draft. Next year is going to be a lot of. After this year is going to be a lot of quarterbacks drafted, and so I think the next thought that you'll have is when the next quarterback comes in there, some of the fans will say, well, I'll tell you one thing, Ty didn't do that. Because that's the way quarterbacking and offensive coordinating is at Alabama. Don't you agree? Or do you agree?
No, for the most part, yes.
Any thoughts on that at all? Ty Simpson had a good year. I think he did a good job. He's not a big, strong, physical guy, but without a running game, I felt like he played to his potential. Got hurt a little bit. Your thoughts on him?
Ty Simpson had a very good year.
Yeah.
And I would push back on anybody who said anything different, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Like you said, I think the part that a lot of people will leave out of that, Coach, is the part of not having a ton of assistance. Not only did the run game not really go, but who we thought was going to be his best player did not perform at 80%, 75% of what we thought he would.
Yeah. Well, the reason I ask this too, you're an offensive lineman. Offensive line gets people in the holes, and the people that get in the holes got to run. The offensive line probably. I'm not here to criticize Alabama's team. I'm a basketball guy. I'm going to talk basketball in just a minute, but the offensive line perhaps was not as good as it needed to be for Ty. Is the offensive line blocking more difficult for pass blocking? I asked you this before. Running blocking, or just your thoughts on that? Because ain't nobody better answer that question than you.
It's kind of a trick question, and I think it depends. Well, one, it depends on the situation. If it's 2nd and 5 and we need to run the ball, I don't think that's going to be near as difficult as pass blocking on 3rd and 12.
Okay.
Specifically, if you're at tackle and then you don't have help from a tight end or a running back. It also depends on who you're playing against. Like if I'm having to block Glenn Dorsey or Booger McFarland, I'd probably would rather pass block those guys than run block those guys. If I'm going up against, Von Miller, I'd probably rather run block him than pass block him. So it's very dependent on the situation and very dependent on the personnel you're going up against. I would say in general, I actually think that run blocking is more difficult based on what you're being asked to do. Now, I also think that the rate of failure is higher in pass blocking because the failure more quickly leads to something bad happening to your team.
Yeah.
Like if we have Adrian Peterson, we probably just have to just get a hat on a hat. We're probably gaining yards. Everybody's like, well, offensive line is great. Okay, well, he's running by people and through people. Like if we have Jerome Bettis, we look a lot better.
Yeah.
You don't always have people covering those kind of things up for you when you're run blocking.
Before I leave,
or pass blocking.
I want to mention basketball in just a minute before I leave. But the scheme blocking wise seemed to be much better against Oklahoma than it did against Indiana. Indiana's the type of team that you, because of their name, because of their history, because of everything, when you go into the game, you're in your mind, you're thinking win, win, win. But they scheme you. Your thoughts on those two games?
Well, the thing I think more so with Indiana than scheme, Coach, is execution. No matter what they're asked to do, they have an understanding of where they need to be, how they need to get there. Like there is a collective understanding of what the overall goal of the play is individually. And that is very different than what I see with a lot of other teams. Like there are a lot of other guys that just think they can freelance or, do whatever they want to do or move around however they want to move around. And Indiana doesn't play that game. Like they don't have a quarterback that tries to do too much. The running backs don't try to score a touchdown on every play. They have that discipline of, this is where we need to be. This is why we need to be here. This is what it's most likely going to lead to. And then if there are variables off of that, they have an understanding of the hows and whys as far as where that needs to go.
Yeah. Well, before I leave today, I want to mention the basketball game last night with Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt is the old Vanderbilt. When I used to go up there and have to play, they are hard to beat. The crowd was in the game. The kids played hard. Alabama shot 43s and only hit 9. But besides, I can't tell everything I want to say. But Cotton picked many fouls on both teams, and the game was slowed down some. But certainly a good win for them. Basketball in the league, people have asked me, what's the record going to be of the winner, and I'm going to say somewhere in the neighborhood of 4 losses, three or 4 losses by even the team that wins it. We're sitting here now with the bottom of the league with Kentucky losing at home, which is quite unusual. Usually, Kentucky, Auburn, Texas, Ole Miss, and LSU at the bottom 0-2, and 2 games doesn't mean anything. Auburn's got a tough road to go. They've got Arkansas at home and go to Missouri. But I think people that keep up with basketball can see a very interesting season because the Kentuckys are down a little bit. Alabama is good. Auburn, I'm not sure about yet, but Texas A&M with Bucky there, kid from Samford is going to be good. So hopefully people will watch that. So that's really about all I have. Anything on basketball, I'll be happy to answer probably if you have anything. If not, I'll talk about Piggly Wiggly.
No, we heard Nate Oates mention multiple times after the game that his team didn't move the ball well enough.
Yeah.
How do you change that in game?
Well, you got to get you just we got to take the ball from one side to the other. We got to get the ball to the open people. A little bit of a problem with Fallon, a little bit, and then he was injured. And the only reason I say that was the press conference after the game when Nate made a comment about couldn't figure out why he was hurt. And sometimes, and he did turn the basketball over 2 or 3 times in the early part of the game, although he had I think 18 points in the first half or something. But when you coach guys, and you get on guys about things that they not doing correctly, they sometimes they can go either way on you as far as your play is concerned. I don't know what that had anything to do with it or not. I coach my guys pretty hard and didn't take much slack, and I thought that was my personality, my way to play. But I think in getting the basketball, you got to move the ball to get the open shot. You're shooting 43s, and I think Alabama plays great. I think Nate's a terrific coach. I just played differently. I had more shot selection, which is not nearly as much fun for the fans as the way he plays. And they don't look at the bench if they shoot a questionable shot. So my hat's off to him because he coaches them great. So anyway, that's where we are, and hopefully Auburn can get it going a little bit. What a tough loss that was against A&M. So
when you had something like that went against your team, and it was pretty clear that it was a wrong call and it cost you a game, how did you address that with your team?
Well, I just try to say we need to play a little bit better, and it wouldn't have come down to that.
Right.
And that, it shouldn't have come down to that. There's no use us blaming it on somebody that's officiating the game.
That's what we say about penalty vultures all the time. There are 100 some other plays you could have made.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so that's what I would have said, and I would have been all worked up as I was when I coached. So I got too worked up. So that's the way it goes. That's what life is, and everybody coaches their own personality.
What's the worst thing you ever did when you lost your temper? Like throw a water cooler?
I'll tell you something that happened. Indiana's great in football. Back in your day, I don't know if you kept it with Indiana was great in basketball with Bobby Knight. You knew that, didn't you? I mean, you heard of Bobby Knight and all that. Did you hear Bobby Knight?
Yeah, I saw him throw a chair across the floor.
Yeah. Well, I coached a long time. I got kicked out of one game. You know what that was?
Indiana?
Yep.
It's because Bob Knight got away with it and you didn't?
Oh, he stayed in. I got kicked out.
But y'all were doing the same thing?
Oh, the officials didn't screw me until right after the national anthem.
What was the final act that got you out of the game, though?
I don't know. Don't remember.
Your language?
I'll tell you what happened to me because I saw the 2 officials at the NCAA tournament. We used to go all the time, and one of them standing by me, and they laughed. They weren't going to call much against, but we're playing in Indianapolis.
Right.
Do you think that Bobby Knight's not going to get most of the calls in Indianapolis?
All of them.
Thank you very much. And so, I went into the game and I got kicked out. While I'm out of the game, I had a kid looked like that my assistant coaches took over. I had a kid that looked like he was going to fight, that he was going to get into a fisticuff. I come out the door, not just to be darn sure that one of my kids didn't get himself in trouble. And when they did, they said, "Get back in there. We're gonna kick you out of the gym." So I went back in and kept my mouth shut. Anyway, Piggly Wiggly and brings you this little segment of nothing by me every week. And Piggly Wiggly, great people. Coca-Cola the same way. Been drinking Coke all my life, and it's terrific. And Piggly Wiggly, you can go in there, you can have a frown on your face, come out with a smile on your face. But you can get great meats there. Stanley Vasiglio and Andy have been great friends of mine for all these years. I'm gonna tell you something. You can't go to a better place than Piggly Wiggly. They don't. It's not one that exists. So go and tell them you heard us on the show and trade with Piggly Wiggly, and I'll be pleased, and they will too.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
We always appreciate it.
All right. Bye bye.
There you go. The Coach Wimp Sanderson joining us on the Higginbotham Hotline with us each and every week right here, thanks to Coke and Piggly Wiggly. When we come back, just one game, just one, Rubik's Cubelic after this on Jocks. All right, welcome back in. McElroy and Cubelic in the morning. If you are feeling on edge, lacking sleep, lacking energy, Game Day Men's Health can help you. GameDayMen'sHealth.com is where you need to go. Get the free consultation, free PSA test, free testosterone test. They'll give you an idea where your baseline health is. And then they'll let you know what programs that they have that can assist you with losing weight, assisting your testosterone, getting the new peptides going inside of you. All those things right there at Game Day Men's Health. Mention Mac and Cube in the morning. Save 10% on any service that they offer. At Game Day Men's Health, they just want to help you be a better you. Locker room environment, not going to push anything that you don't need. Holistic approach to health and wellness. Minimal upfront costs from the programs they offer. GameDayMen'sHealth.com. Go check it out today. Why not take advantage of the free consultation? GameDayMen'sHealth.com. Sometimes we like to allow the computers to decide. We'll give you our picks on tonight's game later in the show. Stanford Steve coming up in 10 minutes. But occasionally, we like to put it in other people's hands, or mainframes, or gigabytes, or malware. There's only one game, John. Tomorrow, we'll run the Rubik's Cubelic for Indiana and Oregon. But for tonight, Miami, number 10, Ole Miss, number 6 in the Fiesta Bowl. Send it.
Major input. Input. Woo!
All done.
Neutral site game, no advantage. Okay. Nobody has anything to say on that?
No.
one?
It's
It's not surprising. Yeah.
Okay. Got it. Miami runs for 150 yards per game.
Oh, that's pretty
pretty good.
Yeah.
We'll take it.
Ole Miss runs for 189.
Let's go.
Ooh, okay.
Advantage, Rebel Black Bears.
Let's go.
Miami allows 86.8 rushing yards per game. So 87 yards per game on the ground.
It's pretty
That's
phenomenal. Okay.
amazing.
Yeah.
It's very good. It's a top 10 rush defense in all of college football.
Mm-hmm.
Currently number 5.
Wow.
Ole Miss allows 150.5 rushing yards per game.
Ooh, that's almost double.
That is advantage Canes.
Okay. So much for the other one.
Ole Miss is -2 in the turnovers.
Uh-oh.
I did not
Well,
realize.
I mean, that was under Lane Kiffin. It's a little bit different with Pete Golding.
That's totally fair.
New regime.
Yeah, new regime.
Didn't even
Those are old numbers.
didn't even think to ask about that. How do the computers even manage this? Because Pete Golding told me he's not an analytics guy. It's a
See?
feel. He hates this whole segment. I didn't even have to do that when the fifth segment started because it printed it out early.
It's already done. Yeah.
It's ready to go. Ink is dry. Miami is +9 in the turnovers.
Oh,
That's amazing.
that's a massive double up.
Can you have don't you just double somebody up? Like, how could one double up be bigger than the other?
I don't know. Like, it's feeling like this one was more than this. Is pretty massive.
It definitely was. I just had to
It
ask
just
the question. Just felt. That's 10th best in college football, by the way.
Okay.
Advantage Canes. Miami, 91 penalties, 752 yards on the season. It's not good.
No.
There's no way around that. But when you got defenders who attack the way that they do,
You're bound to get a couple.
pass rushers, you get a couple face masks in there, probably
Mhm.
a horse collar or two. It happens. Ole Miss, 74 flags for 699 yards.
Let's go.
Did not expect them to be better in the penalty department, excuse me.
You turn a new leaf.
That is advantage Land Sharks. Third down offensive conversions.
Mm-hmm.
Miami 47.2%. Pretty good. It's
Yeah.
almost half. Ole Miss 46%. No real advantage there.
None.
We can't give somebody a full point on that one. Your third down defensive numbers. Now with the defensive head coach at the helm.
It's,
Okay,
so
it could be different.
yes. It's still 35.8% on
Okay.
the season. Miami allows opponents to convert 29.9% of the time.
Well, there's
just
an
under
advantage.
30.
Okay. There's an
That is advantage
Notable
Canes.
advantage.
Again. By a margin of +1. The Rubik's Cubelic likes the Miami Hurricanes to knock off the Ole Miss Rebel Black Bears tonight.
Okay.
Or Land Sharks. Or Rebels.
The numbers are skewed.
Are they?
Yeah.
Which number should we go revisit there that
I
you
mean, they
feel
don't
like is
take it-
off?
They're not taking into account, coaching change, emotion. There's different levels of this.
Because Ole Miss
That's
is
why it's called the computer
Yeah.
spit out.
Ole Miss
That's
is
why I don't agree
plus
with it.
2 in turnovers
I don't-
under the Golding regime.
Come
so
on.
That changes
It
everything.
changes everything.
That's the only
It's not
difference.
the double up. It's not a double up. No. Mm-mm.
Okay.
They don't count heart. You
Do
gotta
they
plug
count?
that in.
Do they count against who?
Nate Oates tried that.
Just asking.
No.
Tomorrow we bring you the Rubik's Cubelic for Indiana and Oregon. No need to do that today. We can just wait until tomorrow because you get one game tonight, one game tomorrow night. Do we like the Thursday night, Friday night setting here?
Yes.
I don't know. It feels
Yes.
weird. I mean, I know we're used to having Thursday night football and everything, but I also
Would,
feel
would
like
we like this better if the NFL had all their games on Sunday, Monday like normal, and we put them on Saturday? Because then you
It wouldn't be
almost get
bad.
like conference championship.
that probably
Sunday.
so.
True.
That would be a day.
Yeah.
You get the 2:30 and 6:30 kicks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that would be the way to go. But
I also feel like they could have had one game Friday and then one Saturday morning, like they did last time.
like 8,
I mean, at 11, the first game's not till 3 or 3:30.
well, the NFL would have middle fingered that and said, we'll put another game on.
But I mean, there's nothing going on between 12 and 3 on Saturday.
That's what I'm saying. I think the NFL would have been like, oh, you're not going to give us the whole day? Cool.
Mm.
Triple header. Here we come.
Watch
The
out for-
NFL has made no bones about it. They don't care about college football anymore.
Oh, 100.
They
Oh,
are
no.
full attack mode.
No.
Black Friday, ours. Thanksgiving, not just college football, but you too, NBA. Coming for you.
Yeah, Christmas. Yeah.
Christmas Day, give us all of it.
Yeah, we're on Netflix.
You better have Netflix.
We're on Netflix.
You know what we need?
Straight from Stranger Things right into football.
Black Friday. No one ever plays on that. NFL, we're taking it. That's
yeah,
us.
and
Yeah.
they did.
Are you going to put a game on? No, 2.
And they threw Snoop Dogg in a halftime performance on Christmas Day.
I think the people just wanted that.
And it was good.
What says Christmas Day halftime? Like
It's-
Snoop.
Then gin and juice.
I mean, normally he's on a stoop. We've seen the dolls, so why not?
All right, so there you go. Rubik's Cubelic. It likes Miami in a close one.
Yeah.
Close one tonight. What was the biggest surprise of those numbers for you? I think for me, it was the turnover differential being that different.
Yeah, that.
Yeah.
Because I don't view Ole Miss as having turnover issues this year. I mean, I know when you go that fast, run that many plays, throw the ball that much, it's going to happen, but it doesn't feel like it's been a problem.
Right. Because
And-
they've been, I mean, there's no offense to Matt Corral, but they haven't
Wow.
had the lapses at the quarterback position as consistent as when
That was only against Barry Odom's first ever drop 8 defense when he threw 6. Just
Right.
one time that happened.
and it skewed the numbers from that point forward.
It definitely did.
Yeah, there was a heavy lean.
But I think it also goes to what we've talked about. We've seen Miami give the ball up. They just haven't lost it.
Mm-hmm.
And that needs to stay that way. Because you start giving the ball up and you take advantage of having a turnover margin like they have, it could be a real problem. All right, we'll ask Stanford Steve his thoughts on the line, the total for tonight's game and tomorrow night's game next on Jocks. Some high school news here in the state of Alabama. Patrick Nix stepping down as Central Phoenix City head coach. Also, the transfer deal, how it was handled earlier this week. What are we doing? Just let kids go wherever they want to go play football week to week, whatever. We'll see how that one turns out. I don't feel like that'll be a net positive for high school football. But got to treat everybody the same. Got to be fair. We want life to be fair. And that's where we got to go. So there we are. Stanford Steve set to join us on the Higginbotham Hotline. We will talk tonight's game, tomorrow night's game, get his thoughts on where these games are, kind of what they're going to be. 6:30 p.m. tonight, ESPN, the Fiesta Bowl, Miami and Ole Miss. Tomorrow night, you get the Peach Bowl, Indiana and Oregon. Stanford Steve joins us each and every week. Thanks to our friends at Atlas Senior Living. He's with us now on the Higginbotham Hotline. First, I have to ask you, how do you eat a Kit Kat bar?
How do I? What size?
That's fair. It's a fair question. That's one of the reasons we brought it up.
Okay.
I don't
Four
feel
pack?
like it's not worth wasting your time on the single that they now make the 1 bar, like the 1/2 bar for Halloween.
Yeah.
If it's a regular Halloween size, the 2 bar, I think most people just knock that thing out. Let's just go your
Yep.
base 4 bar Kit Kat.
Split in 2. Also, this just criminal act now with Halloween candy and the fun size is just a joke. Like, give us the real size. It's gone. It's just like every burger joint in the world, breakfast sandwich in the world, everything's smaller now. The Egg McMuffin used to be fantastic at McDonald's. Now it's like the size of a slider. Like, what are we doing? We're downsizing everything and charging more. It's a big problem. But Kit Kat 4 bar split into 2.
Yeah. Have you had like the jumbo Kit Kat bar? I'm not talking the king size, like 8 bars. I'm talking like it's like 2 super thick bars. Like it's like bars of gold. Have you had that?
Oh yeah.
Game changer.
Oh, yeah.
Is ultimate cheat code. Like that thing is amazing.
We're Kit Kat greater than Twix, right?
Yes.
Okay, I'm with you.
Peanut butter Twix. Now we have a real conversation. That's a different deal.
That's now you're starting to add HGH and steroids into the mix with candy. Like I need the simple.
Listen, I am Team Balco here. I want the cream and the clear. Give me every advantage possible when we're talking about these. I want all of it. Like if you're talking Twix bars, I'm going Twix ice cream bar right out of the gate.
Yeah, I can't do the white chocolate Twix though, or white chocolate Kit Kat. That's too much.
I will say I may or may not have picked up the peppermint Kit Kat around the holidays, just not knowing what to expect, and it was a pleasant surprise. I'm just going to say it was. I wouldn't go to it every time, but for a little bit of a change up every now and then, yes.
All
but
right.
back to the Twix discussion. The Twix ice cream bar, out of this world. Unbelievable. Snickers ice cream
Better
too. So I'm not going to say better,
that's what I was
just
gonna say.
different. It's different.
Yeah, no, Snickers is the one.
Holy man, I can eat a whole box of them, literally an entire box. I can just knock it out. What do you think about this game tonight? I think there's a couple of things that are hypercritical for both. I think Ole Miss got to keep Trinidad on the move. I think you got to get the ball to the perimeter, make that D-line run. That has to happen. You have to go fast, try and wear them down. For Miami, stick to who you are. Don't get out of your comfort zone, and then hang on to the football. They haven't had to pay for it yet, but I think that might be like number one in this whole game. Miami's got to protect the ball. They've been loose with it. They've let it get away from them. The other team hasn't always got it, and it gobbled it up, but that, to me, might be priority number one for the Canes tonight.
Yeah, a couple things, Cole. I mean, you were there. You saw it in person. My biggest deal with Ole Miss in the Sugar Bowl, in the rematch against Georgia, was about the defense. And knowing that Pete was taking over, and obviously he's a defensive guy, but they had to make some adjustments. And the biggest adjustment he made, and I think he talked about it pregame or in the press conference or whatever, was just the snap count for the D-line. I was at Athens for that first game, and they were worn down. Trinidad went 1-10 in the fourth quarter. Georgia shut them out. I think it was 15 or 17 nothing in the fourth quarter. They come back and win by 8. But in the first game, like Daughtery, he played 86 snaps, right? And in the Sugar Bowl, he only played 69. Eccles played 75 in the first game. And in the Sugar Bowl, he played 60. Harris played 73 in the first game, 52 in the Sugar Bowl. It was just it was a great job of adjusting to knowing what you needed to do to win the game. And I thought that was a big job by Pete. So they have to withstand the onslaught that Miami brings to the table, because Miami has just perfected this whole idea of shrinking the game, man. Running the football, time-consuming drives. I mean, Carson Beck has 240 yards passing in 2 games. One play over 20 yards. Like, what they want to do. Ole Miss has to man up and stop it. So to me, it's got to be Ole Miss with the defense, and because the offense is going to struggle, I think, with the physicality of Miami and their defense early on. The Ole Miss defense has to keep them in this game.
Yeah, and one of the things I think is going to be interesting to watch with that one, most of the reason that Ole Miss had the success they did is they were on the move. Eccles and Harris and those guys moved around. Miami will go right at you, about as well as anybody. And when they get duo going, north-south with Fletcher, like, it is a different thing. They're not going to be able to move like that and consistently stop that play. And if that keeps Miami ahead of the chains, I don't know where the adjustment then comes for Ole Miss. So I'll be interested if Pete's as aggressive as he was last week.
Yeah, I think he's got to do some things, because when you go back and I watched the game when Georgia went to Ole Miss and Carson was there, he confused his looks. He made him get off his first read a bunch. Looking at it, Beck was 5 of 10 for 92 yards with a pick on throws 10-plus yards or more. We know he doesn't throw it down the field much. I think he's averaging about 7 yards a target. So compete, play with minimal guys in the box. Going back to your point about Ole Miss having to hang in there, that's the story to me, because if I think Ole Miss has to play with the lead in this game to keep Miami uncomfortable. Miami's just been we were there on the sidelines. We stood in the end zone. To your point, we watched Miami run duo, the whole fourth quarter. They were comfortable in that environment. Ole Miss has to find a way to make Miami uncomfortable. And to your point earlier too, it's when they've hurt themselves. They made turnovers. So Ole Miss has got to mix it up. Pete's as good as it gets. I'm really fired up to see what he brings to the table. He knows he has to do something defensively to get Miami off their game.
How does Ole Miss take the ball away tonight, if that's what ends up being the difference? Miami +9, Ole Miss -2, not a ton of takeaways. Does that have to happen?
I don't think Miami will let you. Just going through those numbers again with Beck, they don't turn it over. They haven't in these last couple games. The run game's been Malachi's put it on the turf a couple times. Fletcher did against Ohio State. I think it's that. I think it's with physicality. But the thing that worries me is the physicality on the other side. Like, watching Miami hit Ohio State's, studs. I thought they took Carnell Tate out of the game. I thought he had a little alligator arms in the second half, just because of the way he was getting hit and he saw his guys hit. So I really expect Miami to try and bring the thunder early on. You got to figure Ole Miss knows what's coming. Seeing how physical Georgia was in that first half too. So I don't think Ole Miss could take the ball away. It's more about playing sound and keeping them, out of manageable situations.
All right, so the lines, the numbers on this game, the total, the point spread, where are you on that for tonight?
I think it's like a normal deal. It's down to 3. I saw a couple places, and I think everybody's along the same lines. If Ole Miss wins, it's going to be an over game. If Miami wins, it's going to be an under. I like Miami. I trust them more just with how they play. They're more sound when it's pretty basic. Like, they're going to say, they're going to put 4 defensive linemen on the line of scrimmage, and they're going to say, stop us. Or I should say, they're going to say, we're going to stop you. And on the other side, they're going to try and pound you. So I look at Miami dictating tempo, focus. And I believe it's their game. Ole Miss has to do something out of the ordinary, just like they did in the Sugar Bowl. I'm not doubting them, but I don't see it against this, physicality and endurance from Miami. So I like Miami, let's say, 24-17, something like that.
All right, so let's go to tomorrow night. First off, we'll start with the spread there. Indiana favored by 3.5, 48.5 the total. I actually kind of think feels a little bit low. And I know both teams play good defense. I know both teams are good up front, but just feels like it's down a smidge. Where are you on just the numbers for that Oregon-Indiana matchup?
First off, I got to tell you about my conversation with Brian Haynes, the defense coordinator of Indiana, before the Rose Bowl. On the field, pregame, known him for a while. We're talking, and I just went up to him. I said, "Hey, you got to feel pretty good about your matchup against Alabama and that offensive line." And he started shaking his head. He was really worried about how they were going to replace Daly, who was their do-everything D tackle, led the team in TFLs and all that stuff. And, he's like, I just, it's different. I don't have all my, bullets in the gun. And then he talked about what the goal was. And his first thing he said was, my goal every game is to make the opposing offensive line coach not be able to sleep the night of the game. And he's talking about after. So I texted him after the game. I'm like, yeah, I think you did your job there.
Mission accomplished.
Because of what they did. Yeah, dismantling Alabama's offensive line. And that's where it is. Like, there's a couple things that stick out. I think it's 4 times in the last 2 years I've seen Indiana in person. They're so damn sound on both sides of the line of scrimmage. But the other thing, Colt, their skill guys are way better than people give them credit for. Like, I don't think Surratt's going to run a crazy good 40 time. But, like, contested catches, the dude's money. And Cooper can run every route. He's got game-changing speed. And then this Becker guy, comes in when Surratt didn't play against Penn State. He makes catches. You watch him pregame. There's no, craziness with headphones and dances. It's just guys out there getting their work in. Like, it's such a methodical, business-like approach. And Oregon has to change it up. Again, like, they're the underdog. They already got punched in the face in their home stadium. I was there for that. And how Indiana lived in the Oregon backfield, dictated the game just from the first series. They got in Dante's face. We hadn't seen that in Dante's time while he was at Oregon. So I expect the same. I don't like what I saw from Oregon's offense against Texas Tech. I thought, I was texting you. I think it was the first quarter. I said, this is going to be a long day for the right tackle at Oregon. So I don't look at Oregon being able to be as dynamic as we've seen them. I give Lanning a lot of credit when they lost the receivers. They went to that 3-headed monster of running back. They rolled their sleeves up. They ran the ball for over 200 yards at Iowa. They ran for it over 200 yards against Wisconsin, who's a good run defense. But I don't see it against Indiana. Turnover margin, Indiana's #1 in the country. And then on the other side with Mendoza, like the third downs, they're incredible. Like, it's almost like they're more comfortable when it's like 3rd and 5 or more. The percentages are off the charts. So I look at Indiana with that run game, again, dictating tempo and keeping Oregon off balance. I like Indiana in this game.
Have you gotten any answers talking to anybody, being around it, being close to it last week on just how he's able to get this done? The thing with me is you mentioned what the guys are capable of, and I do think it's more than people give them credit for, but it's the execution and the understanding for me. When you watch these guys operate, the backs know what the end goal of the play is. The offensive line, I mean, it's hat placement, hand placement, almost every play. Steps, like I tried to show on the podcast this week, like watch these Alabama linemen. It's very lateral. They're crossing their steps over, like they're losing their base. You don't see that with this Indiana group. And it's not like just the O-line or just like that D tackle, he goes to pick the center, and it's like Brailsford's going into the guard, and they're both out of the play. It's done. So now linebackers got free run, looping D tackles got free run. You're not going to get any yards. So, but how is he getting everybody on the same page to the extent that he is?
To me, it's mind blowing, Cole. Like I watch them in person. Like, they pull their center, they pull their guards, they pull the tackles, they pull the tight ends. I call them pullers when they're lined up opposite and filling in the other A or B gap. No one gets off track when there's sudden change. Like sometimes the guard gets stunned, by a 3 technique, and then that puller has to adjust. He never gets off track. They always stay on track. And in this day and age with the lack of physicalness in practice, like, it's really, really amazing to see. Like, everyone just does walkthroughs now. And to be able to do full speed pulling and not get caught off track when you have stuff going on in the middle it's really, really impressive. So I think it's just a togetherness. I think the way he's gone about the portal, and this will be interesting moving forward as he's violated the portal already and gotten a bunch of 5-stars. Is the guys he's brought in, like they come in and it's like when they get there, they already know what their role is, right? Like the Nowakowski kid, who was a tight end, barely played a lot of offense, and then he comes in. The dude is so athletic, and he's all over the place. I thought he was awesome against Alabama. So I think it's just instilling, like, I don't know if every guy goes on their visit during the portal, but these guys already have their roles known when they get in. So, like, they're hit the ground running when it comes to practice, and you see it in the togetherness, the cohesiveness. Everybody just knows their roles. They don't care who gets it. I mean, Mendoza won the Heisman Trophy, and he's averaging 25 attempts a game. Think about that.
Yeah, was he have two 300-yard games?
Yeah, he has 2 games where he threw the ball over 30 times. And that was one of them was Penn State when he had no left tackle, no left guard, and no Surratt. So they've adapted, they've adjusted, but most importantly, man, they know the roles and they're super comfortable in that. And that's what's awesome. It's so businesslike. There's no rah-rah stuff. It's really cool to see.
I'm sorry. He has one 300-yard game this year. One.
Yeah.
And you mentioned Nowakowski. I freaking love the dude. Like, he's not getting 20 targets. They're not trying to match him up on guys. They're not getting him favorable matchups, and he just grinds. He just gets out there. He puts his face mask in his opponent's chest if he needs to block, pass pro, run block. Like, I love the kid. He kind of embodies like who they are, honestly. Like it's because, like you said, he's athletic enough to be doing a lot of other stuff, but they don't really ask him to do that all the time. Yeah, but they don't. I mean, he's a glorified fullback, and every now and then they'll spit it to him, and it's just that's. I'm with you. I haven't seen another team execute and have the overall understanding of what we're attempting to accomplish on every play like that group has. Like the running backs, there's no trying to hit their head on the goalpost on every play. It's just follow the leader, understand where it's supposed to go. If it gets out of there, it gets out of there. But goodness, man, it's fun to watch. All right, appreciate the time, Steve. As always, it's great catching up. Enjoy tonight's game, and I'll see you in Atlanta.
Hey, bud. One thing in this crazy world that we're in, like we're here at the Fiesta Bowl, and yesterday, the majority of the time in our meetings, we're spending trying to figure out what coaches are going to be in the box and on the sidelines for Ole Miss for a semifinal college football game. Think about that. What coaches are going to be where and who's even showing up?
Is that them, or you guys just don't know? Like, they're not changing things around, are they?
They don't know. They didn't know who was coming. So we had to finalize it, and they're going with it. Like, Pete's brought in all his coaches that he's hired for next year are here. It's just what roles are they going to be in? And so I guess, the O-line, Garrison's staying. Smith is here, but the other guys, McDonald and Cox, like they were still up in the air yesterday. And finally, I think they said they're not coming. So they're adapting and adjusting. So to add on to what Pete has to do in a game, in the biggest game of his life as a head coach, I just find it mind-boggling that he has to deal with this kind of stuff.
How do you decide you're not going that late? Either tell them you're not going or go. I mean, come on.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It's a week. So it's just adds to the craziness. But, I mean, Ole Miss is here. The fan base is as excited as I've ever seen. And, I mean, you're a lifer in that league. You know it. They haven't had much success, but they're all in. It's really cool to see them buy into the situation. They're super excited. They're gonna show out tonight. That's for sure.
No doubt. Appreciate it, Steve. We'll catch up next week.
All right, my man. See you.
Stanford each and every week, thanks to our friends at Atlas Senior Living. All right, we'll get to a break. When we come back, we still have bad box scores of the day. Some more to get to around college football next on Jocks. All right, welcome back in. McElroy and Cubelic in the morning. Glad you guys are with us. Always appreciate you taking some time out to listen to the show. If you need to go back and get the bad box score of the day, you will here in just a moment. But if you need to get the podcast, go to jocksfm.com. Go to your app store, download the Jocks app. You can get it there. Always multiple ways that you can listen. All right, let's get into our bad box scores of the day. We'll start with men's college basketball. The High Point.
Are they the Hawks?
They're not.
Lancers?
No,
Eagles?
Panthers.
Panthers.
Oh.
Just because Greg's not here doesn't mean you get extra guesses. They get to 15-3, by the way, 3-0 in the Big South as they just sneak past the Garner-Webb.
Bulldogs. No,
Kind of.
Terriers?
No, he's on the right path.
it's a dog.
It is. It's a bulldog, but it's a specific type. It's one that runs. They are the running bulldogs.
Really?
Oh.
The
I
running
know Sean
Bulldogs.
Marino's. Okay.
Okay.
And they got run out of the gym 104-49 last night. Your score at the half, 53-13.
Ugh.
They stink.
Garner-Webb shot 20 of 62 from the floor. They did shoot 31 threes.
Okay.
How many did they
admirable.
make?
Only 7. That's
That was
23%. They were out-rebounded 52-32.
Oh, they didn't want to be there.
They turned it over 24 times in a game.
Mm-hmm.
High Point shot 37 of 73 from the floor. That's 51%. 10 of 29 from 3.
They were just hot.
You mad because you not.
Women's NAIA basketball. I'll take you to Truett McConnell University. They are the
Titans.
No, they're the Temptresses.
They're the Bears.
Oh.
They just went down to the Bryan, Texas
Broncos.
Bald Eagles.
Lions. 85-27.
Ugh.
Your
triple
score by quarter for Truett McConnell, 10-10-3-4.
Ooh, awful coach.
Terrible coach.
He quit.
Terrible coach.
They shot 6 of 40 from the floor. 0 for 11 from 3. 15 of 28 from the free throw line.
That's
Some
disgusting.
shooters shouldn't shoot.
They turned it over 28 times. Out rebounded 52-31. We're back tomorrow. 3-Man Front is next.